A lot of y'all say, how do you make content? I am really wanting to create content, but I am struggling about what other people think. It really has a lot to do with what other people think about y'all, and I 100% understand. You've been there, worked through it, and I'm here to help y'all work through it as well. Not even just content, but just they want to show up digitally and be okay. So here is how I show up: vulnerably, uncomfy, confidently, courageously in the digital age. Can y'all hear that train? Rude. It's so loud. Okay. Firstly, I feel like for me, it's really important for me to be vulnerable on my platforms because I preach a lot about vulnerability, and a lot of my content is about self-growth. And if I'm not being vulnerable, I just don't feel like I'm being 100% authentic with you all, and that really, I just need to be here and authentic. Also, y'all, each time my mic goes up to my mouth and you can't see my mouth, do you know what I think of? I keep digressing, but there's this girl on TikTok, and she talks about like body languages and how our bodies, like how certain things that are going on inside of us, how they manifest on the outside. So that's what I keep thinking about. So I'm like, no, they have to see you and we have to hear. You need to be heard. Let yourself be heard. Let yourself be heard. Anyways, we're all practicing this together. It's a constant practice. My first one is, I got this reminder from somebody else, and it really did it for me because I was about to talk about something that had to do with vulnerability, and I was like, I just don't know if I want to share this. And it's not from a place of I want to keep this super private. I just didn't know how I wanted to share it, and it was like a little bit uncomfy for me, and I didn't know how to work through it. Well, I was working through it. It was just more uncomfy for me to share. And I was talking about it on my Instagram, and somebody replied, and they're like, when I go through things like this and I want to share certain things, I just remember that my message is a medicine for other people and it helps them work through things. And so I'm like, I'm going to stop being selfish and share my message. So this point is, your mess is your message and somebody else's medicine. And it's so true. I've had people come up to me and they've been like, thank you for doing what you do. Like, I love your content. I love what you're sharing. It's really helps me and it's really improved my life. And if I can touch one person's heart, if I can help one person feel better about themselves, if I can help one person's voice be heard, help one person's confidence go up by one, I'm doing my job. I've done my job. And whatever you have, when I say the amounts of people, like, you think about it right now, you meet people and they tell you their story and you're like, just by you being you, you give me the confidence and the courage to be me. It's the same as it is online. By you being you, by you sharing your journey, girl, let me tell you, when I was on the med school track, the amount of black med school people that would share, like black med school girls who would show their vulnerableness, by them showing their journey, it gave me permission to want to do this. It gave me so much inspiration, so much strength. It gave me the courage. So just by you showing up as you are, authentically, genuinely, from your heart space, it is the biggest thing. And I can't even begin to tell y'all how big it is, how beautiful it is, how much you're helping people. Oh my gosh. It is unspeakable. It's not something you can buy. It's not something you can put a label on. It's just the most beautiful thing in the world to uplift other people. I am here for it. As you can tell, this makes my heart full. Oh my gosh. You have to be used to give somebody else the permission to be themselves. And this one is actually referencing what Olamide had said. Olamide, the owner of Topicals, she had said, somebody asked her, I'll put up the clip. It's like somebody asked her, what do you do when you're scared?
You really do need to live in your purpose and in your gift, because someone else's destiny is actually tied to you becoming who you are. If you weren't you, there's someone else 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the line who can't become who they need to become, right? I think about like all the women I've looked up to, all the people I've looked up to, and had it not been for this person or that person, like I just would not be who I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so on days where you feel like you can't do it, or you're tired, or, you know, X, Y, and Z, like rest, but also know that that's not for you. Your gift isn't for you, and like someone else's whole destiny. Like, take that. That's deep. Mm-hmm. Someone else's whole destiny is tied to you being who you are.
That is so profound, that you want other people to show up as themselves, so you are going to be obedient and show up how you would like to show up in the world, even if it scares you. Okay, next tip for showing up digitally is more of like a practical thing, but post like it's a black hole. That's what I did with TikTok when I started, because TikTok's any platform that you start on, post like it's a black hole. Post as if nobody's watching. because something I will always do is I will always put things in perspective. And I talked about this in the video before this, about people see you and it is a fraction of a second of their day, and you are in your head about it. Like, what will they think? What will they think? A lot of people, when I talk to them, they're like, oh, my friends from high school, what would they think? My friends from primary school, my family members, what would they think? That's a fraction of a second of their day, and they're moving on. Maybe except for family members who are looking for trouble, that's a whole different thing. They've got their own journey to heal from. But for other people who have known, like high school people who have known you in their past, they're moving on. They really don't care. They don't give two shits. So put your thing out. Literally, like I said, post as if nobody's watching. Just do it because it feels good to you. At the end of the day, stop looking at the numbers. Whatever you do should be good to you. Keep doing what's good to you, because you'll keep doing what sets your soul on fire, and keep sharing it. That's my big thing. You are your biggest critic. And like I talked about in my other episode, the spotlight effect. I've said this before, but if you didn't watch my other episode, the spotlight effect is basically when we all think the entire world is looking at us. Which is wild, because if we all think the entire world is looking at us, every single person thinks the same thing. Nobody's looking at anybody. We're all looking at ourselves. And so that's basically a lot how the world works. We think the world's looking at us, but nobody is except for yourself. And so just put your thing out. Nobody, I promise, I don't want to say nobody cares, but that was a great way for me to start putting things out. Nobody cares. Put your shit out. Just put it out, because it makes you feel good. Also, people want things to be perfect before they start putting things out. You know what's wild? I have 2 Virgo signs. I am a rising Virgo and I am a moon Virgo. So you would think the perfectionism would run in my blood, but it doesn't. I'm just like, if it gets done, you should be thankful that it's done. And this is just my advice. It doesn't need to be perfect. Your work should not be perfect, because it should continue to improve over time. Nobody wants to watch somebody's work who isn't improving. And as you continue to consume other people's content, you'll see what you like, what you don't like. You might try to edit it like them. Maybe you want to add a couple things inside, but it doesn't need to be perfect, because nobody's probably going to watch your first 50 videos. Another creator said it a perfect way. Their first couple of videos was kind of like, their first 15 videos was just like, kind of feeling the field out what they want to do. Just post all your content, try as many times, and put it out there, because when people come to your page, they want to see that you have like a bulk of things that they can look at. And even if they're not going to scroll to the bottom, when they're seeing that you have lots of things, it gives you more of a like accreditation kind of, and they have more confidence in what you're doing, so they are going to want to stay for the journey. So it does not need to be perfect, because firstly, your perfectionism, somebody is only spending less than a second looking at your perfectionism. You know how when you put things on your story, you look at your story 100 times. People only look at it once. Even if they are looking at it, they're probably haphazardly scrolling through. So don't even worry about it. Put it out there. I don't want to say nobody cares, but nobody cares except for you. And my last one is, allow yourself to evolve, shift identity, speak your truth, and know that if you are being authentic, the people who resonate with you will always find you. One big thing for me is I love to speak my truth, and I'm learning to allow myself to evolve and shift identities. It's really scary sometimes showing up digitally, because you think that people want to put you inside a box, but a lot of times we box ourselves thinking that other people want to box us. And you have to give yourself the ability to evolve, because as humans we constantly change. And if you're on digital platforms and you think people want to see me as this, no, you show up how you show up, because you did this because you wanted to in the first place. And another put in perspective moment, think of your favorite creators. You watch them evolve, and that you get so excited to see them grow and evolve, and it's such a pretty thing. So when you're thinking nobody wants to see you evolve, people want to see you evolve, and it shouldn't even matter what people think. But that's just, if you care about what people think, that's your take on it. You will always attract the right people to you. Like when I say, the energy you put out will always come back to you. Firstly, we are humans. We're made of energy. You will always attract to you what is inside of you. You will always attract to you what you are. If there's anything that you ever wanted to bring into your life, you are attracting what you are at any given present moment. And so the people who resonate with what you're saying will always find you. So stop worrying about the numbers, stop worrying about the followers, stop worrying about all these little things that are supposed to be like signs of growth. Don't worry about that, because you don't want people looking at your message and they don't even resonate with what you're saying. No, so don't worry about that. Even if it's one person who leaves a comment and like, I really resonate with this, Go there for more quality and not quantity. It's those deep-hearted feeling conversations that we're ending for in the end. People who genuinely resonate with what we're saying, and they will always find us. When I say energy doesn't lie, energy cannot lie. It's energy. Literally, we're energy. We're humans. We're made up of energy. We're spiritual beings in a physical body. But anyways, you will always attract to what you are. And there will always be people who feel the way that you do in this world, and they will find their way to you. When I tell you the amount of people that I've attracted to myself since January, since really like deciding to step into my truth, not even fully stepping into my truth, I really just stepped into my truth recently, but deciding to make that step, it's crazy the amount of people. Anyways, y'all, please show up as yourself and just do it authentically. Give yourself space to shift, to evolve, grow. It's the most beautiful thing in the world, and you're going to be happier because of it. All right, I love y'all. I'm in the park. I gotta get back home. I'm craving my ice cream. The sun is going down. My camera's dying, and I hope I recorded that whole thing. Okay, I love y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.